Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of South by Southeast. We are in a new year, 2021, so Happy New Year, everybody. And we are also here with Cyn at her new location, Glowbar.
Hello. Welcome.
Yes, thank you for having us, Cyn.
No, thank you guys for asking me. I wouldn't even have thought about it, so I appreciate that.
So tell me a little bit about your new location here.
So, we had a soft opening in December. Our grand opening is January 9th. The Glowbar by Cyn is basically a beauty wellness bar. I like to say everything really but hair, so that we really don't do, like no coloring, cuts, anything like that. But we have you covered on everything else: waxing, nails, lashes, micro shading your eyebrows, which is similar like a semi-permanent tattoo.
Yeah.
What else? Waxing, nails, lashes, eyebrows, I think, and makeup. We do makeup for like wedding parties, getting ready with us. And the last thing we are introducing actually now is the teeth whitening, cosmetic teeth whitening. So that's a big deal. It's very new to the area. There's nothing like that over here. And I've been getting that a lot lately. It's something that we needed, like a go-to for local for everything but hair, like I said.
Tell me a little bit about your background, because I know that you've been to quite a few salons and established yourself too.
Yes. So in 2015, I started doing makeup as a hobby. I took it as a class, selling makeup, doing makeup. I really didn't have a hobby other than like being a mom and working,
Yeah.
So one day I was sitting there and I was like, man, I need something to do. I started taking classes. And I fell in love with it. Like, I didn't realize that I loved it. Makeup wasn't as big back then.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just more like learning tips for myself and things. And then here I am 5 years later. I was working in the hospital at the time. So like I said, it was my hobby. I started learning how to do makeup on people, which is totally different from yourself.
Yeah.
So I just took like as many certification and classes that I could to learn as much as I could. I started freelancing. I also am known for the prom giveaway. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but I think it was like 2015, something like that.
Okay.
I did a prom giveaway for local students who couldn't afford to go to prom but deserved to go to prom. So a group of girls that I know, like, that do hair, and I know some girls with boutiques, and I put together, they had to write an essay, and we basically sponsored them 100% for them to go to prom. So the boutiques and people donated dresses, and then I did their makeup, and then, the girls I knew that would do their hair. So we would have like a getting ready prom day at a local salon, and we would get the girls ready to go. And, somebody would sponsor their ticket. Like if I couldn't find a dress for them in their size, I would get donations for the dress. So that's kind of like when my social media came like a little bit more defined, I guess you can say, and it got out there and things started passing around. And in 2008, my son, he was killed in a car accident on the east side, and I just went through a lot like in grief and growing. And that's part of me finding a hobby when I started doing makeup, was because I needed something to do.
Just an outlet.
Yes, I needed an outlet. So the prom thing was such a positive thing for him. In his name, I started doing things like that. Then from there, I did the school supply drive. Like all the local teachers I know, I had a party at Don Pedro's in Calumet City, and we would, like, it wasn't, you didn't pay to get in, you brought donations. So you brought in, like, we had like baskets. I mean, we took to school all over the southeast side, like Bright, Taylor, Gallisto, Washington, like just all over, anywhere. And the teacher, like, they have to purchase most out of their pocket, which I didn't know that. So we gave them as many supplies as we could for throughout the year. Like if a student didn't have pencils or they didn't have crayons or something, they didn't have to go in their pocket to have the supplies
to buy
for
stuff
them.
for those children. Yeah.
So that was another thing that I did, and I really did all that for my son and my son's name, the prom, and it kind of blew up and it did really well. So I got to know more people. Like, little did I know that all these years, all I was doing was building the audience for what I have now. So yeah, I just kept going with that. Then I started freelancing, totally doing makeup all the time. I got laid off in 2017, almost 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, about 2 years ago. And I took the layoff, and it was like my first time in my whole life that I didn't have a job, you know, so very strange, you know, and it's hard for you to accept. Like, I went to college straight out of high school and did all that and the college thing, and I worked in the hospital, like I said, for many years, which I loved. But then, like, different doors started opening, different things started happening, and never would I ever think that I would be sitting here right now like, oh, this is my salon. And no, I'm 100% like grateful and blessed, but like I never realized that like everything that I was doing back then was just setting me up for now. I don't have the typical background like a lot of people who, you know, own salons do, is where they went to beauty school and did that. No, like mine started differently. You know, it did start as a hobby, and that's no disrespect to anybody that went to school. Like, everybody has their own path, and this was mine, and this is what worked for me. And right now, even though I am not an esthetician, I am able to hire one and put the word out for them. And, you know, like, we will have a great working environment, and I've learned in skill and meeting through people and freelancing that some great people. I have met some amazing people and some amazing talent in the neighborhood. Where my theme for the salon was, you shouldn't have to go downtown to get good stuff.
Agreed.
You shouldn't have to go to like Cherville or Dyerville, but you know what I mean? Like, there's some great talent in this neighborhood, and like we should have more shops where like the different talents come together and work together. So that's my theme for this, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and I did notice that because a lot of what you offer here, I haven't found like outside of, like you're saying, going to the city or going to a neighboring place other than it being in Whiting. And that's a great location for you to have because it's so centralized and it's not far away from the east side. And you can get new clientele from the region area, because I don't know anybody who does lashes in the area or the microblading. And it's all in one central location. So I feel like that is going to flourish because there's nothing like that around here.
It is. And I can't even tell you, like, even people walking by, like, stop, and we don't have our sign yet, but it'll be up soon. And they ask, like, what's going on? And because we're kind of by appointment right now, only because just everything that's going on is just safer.
Right.
Even though we do have enough square footage where we're safe to have at least 10 people in the building at a time, because it's like it goes by the size. But we just didn't have a lot of walk-ins at first. But people walking by, when I explain to them, they're like, oh my God, that's like literally the first thing they say is like, we don't have anything like that. That's great.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, for me, it was like, why do I have to go downtown to get wax? Like, why do I have to go downtown to get my lashes? Why do I have to go to the north side to do this? Like, when in reality, people in our neighborhood are going downtown to work to go do it.
Yeah,
and it's
to
like,
do the same things that you can just bring
be
here.
Able to do that here. So that's what I'm trying to do.
That I think you have greatly achieved that so far.
I can't complain. It has been a great success thus far.
And
so
tell me a little bit about your line that you have that you started for makeup cleaning.
So that's another way this started. I swear, I can't even tell you like how many situations I found myself in where I never would have thought that it would have led me to this. So I was on a TV show. Some people know that or not, but I was on a reality show a while back. Yes, like literally right before quarantine.
Oh my gosh.
It was like days before everything got shut down. And I always say it's like so funny. Like, God, if you wanted me to get my life together, you didn't have to wait for the world to close for me to get it together. But that's kind of how I feel sometimes. Like, really, you want me to do this right now when everybody else is like, stop life? You're like, here you go, Cyn. Here's your life. Like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But yes, like, so I went on a reality show right before quarantine, and I got my makeup done myself, which I rarely do, and I got a sty in my eye.
Oh no!
So I was so mad. I was so mad, and it was like I said, like literally, it was March 12th, so it was 4 days before quarantine like, went into full effect. I was so mad. I was sitting there thinking, okay, I'm a makeup artist. I don't ever in my life, not that it's never happened to me, knock on wood, whatever, thank God, you know, because mistakes do happen. Even if you're not unintentionally clean, like, things happen, and I get that. So I was trying not to be mad about it, but for me, I was like, how can I make sure that this never happens to me or anybody that comes to me that I do their makeup? So at the time, we were like, okay, we're going to be shut down for 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I have everything clean and everything taken care of, and when I'm ready, like, to go back.
Right.
So in the midst of sitting here doing nothing for weeks, I started cleaning all my brushes, and then I ran out of soap. to clean my brushes.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like looking up ways to clean my brushes and stuff. And then I wasn't crazy about it. Like some of them were dish soap and this. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then after they were really hard to dry. So I was also practicing on my own makeup all the time just because, like I said, I had nothing else to do. And doing like YouTube videos and like trying to learn new skills. Basically what I was doing in my midst of boredom. And I learned how to make soap. So I was like, let me make a soap that is everything all in one. So that when my brushes are done, they're done. Like it has oils in there so the soap doesn't dry them out. And then I thought, okay, I remember in one of my classes that I took with a big artist who's actually, one of the classes I took was with an artist who's Cardi B's makeup artist.
Oh, wow.
And that was one of my favorite classes. I learned so much from that. So I remember her always telling us keep a bottle of alcohol in our bag, like always. Even just like spray everything down, spray your hands on before you touch them so that they know you're using it. So I always had that. And I thought, well, if I'm making this soap and it's drying out my brushes and I spray them with alcohol, like it's going to be even worse.
Yeah.
So I'm big like on essential oils and stuff like that. So I was like, man, there has to be oils that can like soften my brushes and like still have the same disinfecting properties. So like I've just went into scientist mode. Like I like stuff like that. So then I made disinfecting spray.
Okay.
And I added essential oils to it. I found like different recipes. Like I said, I worked in a hospital many times, so like disinfecting properties is like a big thing. I know a lot of doctors, and I have really, really good friends that are doctors. So I was like texting them, like, what do you think about this? And what do you think about this? And they were like sending me articles about disinfecting. We went on the CDC guidelines, like everything just worked out perfectly. So I was able to make a disinfecting spray that's alcohol based, but it's not going to dry your hands.
Okay.
The essential oils are going to bring back the moisture, but you're not going to lose like any disinfecting properties, if that makes sense. So some people would think like just because if you're adding additives, it's not as effective as alcohol.
Right.
But we made something where it's actually better than just alcohol. If you add certain oils, they have extra disinfecting properties. So we're adding that. So that's what happened. And then my friend, I have a mentor friend from the city who's like an independent Latina single mom, and she just made it. So I just like, she's so successful in her own career, and I always go back to her on advice. And I was like, what do you, she was like, solid, just put it out there. It doesn't hurt. And I never ever would have thought that. I was just like, I was just making soap. And you know what I mean? Like, I never would have thought that. So I did. And let me tell you that unemployment is not fun. It was actually horrible. It's horrible. You know, like they took your job away from you, which I understand. I'm not against it. But then they didn't really give you anything to live off of. So in selling soap and the spray and all that, I was just like putting money to the side. And I would buy, the salon came up. And I was like, it was so unachievable at the time. Like, I was just like, yeah, I make $180 a week right now and I have 2 kids. Like, how am I going to open a salon? Like, but then I started making extra money from the soap and like putting it out there, and people really like, they really like it. I mean, like, not even just because they make it, like, I get so many good reviews. Like, people really like the soap. Like I said, I try to make it something that anything that I do is something that I would use personally.
Definitely.
Or a service that I would provide is somebody that I would go to personally. You know, and that's so important to me. So people love the soap. It did so well. I sold so many. I never would have expected that at all. But in that process, you know, the idea for the business came up, and I was like, you know, putting little money to the side every chance that I got, which was really hard, but I tried. I would buy like one chair. I would buy like a cart. I would buy like little things here and there. And here I am.
And that's good, because then that you see your dream just coming together all at once.
And it was a dream that I didn't even know I had, because in my subconscious mind, like 4 or 5 years ago when I moved to Whiting, I would always think like, wow, a business would do so well here. Like, it's such a cute community. I just, like, we created our website, and we signed with some company that does like Google search apps and stuff. And he was like, so do you want me to put your location as downtown Whiting? And I was like, yes, I do. But I would have never thought that. Like, yes, we are downtown Whiting. Like, so yeah. It just, like you said, it was a vision that was probably in the back of my mind, that until things started happening, I didn't realize that it was even a possibility. But yeah, it all came together.
That's awesome.
It came together.
And tell me what you see this becoming. Like, what do you look for your future to be Glowbar?
Ideally, I like another location. But I just feel like when people get out of school, you're kind of lost.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have, and I'm learning that, like with a lot of girls, like interviewing, and I get a lot of resumes, and I'd like to keep growing. I'd like to be a mentor for somebody who was in my position at one point, or somebody's looking for a career change, or somebody who's out of college, like looking for guidance, or like, you know, like I would like to be that person for somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really big for me. You know, like I said, I'd like to be, you know, who I needed at that time when I didn't have anybody.
And I think that you have a lot of knowledge just by talking to you here. Like, I feel like there's a lot of background that you had to go through just to get to where you are.
Yes.
So I feel like that would be a perfect thing for somebody who's coming up in the industry and doesn't really know their path and what they want to do and what they want to make of themselves.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's really, you know, like finding yourself and finding the direction in that is hard. It's not easy to find somebody, or, you know, some people are just not comfortable with sharing what they've been through or how they got somewhere, and which is fine. Everybody has their own thing, you know, like everybody has their own journey. So if you're not okay with that, somebody else might be, and they might be willing to teach, and I'd like to be that person.
Right.
Am I a teacher? No. Can I teach you official? No, but I could direct you in like guiding yourself and marketing yourself as a, you know, a person when you get out of school, or maybe even introduce you to people who might be able to help you, or, you know, just being that person is who I am. And like I said, I'm not trying to discredit anybody, or, you know, no, I just would like to be somebody, if somebody needed help or direction and where they were going, then if I can help you, I will.
Definitely.
I definitely would. So I'd like to be that.
And Cyn, tell us how everybody can find you, where they can go to your social media, or if they want to pop in and get an appointment with you.
Yeah, so the Glowbar by Cyn is located at 1520 119th Street in Whiting, Indiana. On Facebook, my name is Cyn Sacramento. Instagram is the Glowbar by Cyn. My personal Instagram is Cyn for the win.
Winning.
I love that name. Winning. I love that name. So yes, my personal Instagram is Cyn for the win. Facebook, Cyn Sacramento. And the Glowbar by Cyn is in Whiting.
And your opening date will be?
January 9th, 2021.
So it is coming up. Yes. So make sure to contact Cyn for any eyebrows, lashes, makeup, nails, waxing. We got it all right here.
Soap,
and makeup brush soap. Yes.
Spray that smells good, not like cheap tequila. Very important.
We don't want that.
No. There's some really bad ones out there.
There are.
So yeah, I try to keep the smell in mind. That was a big thing for me. But yes, I'm here for whatever I can help with. And like I said, even like if somebody's looking for direction, or if there's something I can help with, I definitely would. That's just how I am.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you, Cyn, for joining us today. We will definitely be checking out some of your products.
Please.
I mean, at least me. I don't know about my husband over there, so. But thank you again. It was lovely talking to you.
No, thank you for having me. This was great. I love this.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for watching another episode of South by Southeast. We do want to mention our patrons, and it is going to be, I have a list now because I don't want to forget anybody. We have Hegewisch Nutrition, Willie G, Stevie's Michies, Dog Apparel, Poco Picoso, OMG Pastries 31, and VBly Photo. And if you want to become a patron, just click our link at the bottom of this episode, and we will see you on another episode of South by Southeast.